first let's set up the stuff. Making a link for once. B.A.D.Fluppy. Just a second. This way. Here it is. Just setting up a link. No, I like to play out actually. I bet the one viewer is actually Ultimate Doom already. I bet you are. Where is the videos? Genuine. Oh my god, so many. There it is. Yeah, post it there. So yeah. So I really like the basic layout so far, which is nice, and my actual idea on this is that I most likely will just polish it out afterwards. Yeah, so once we have polished the first area, the first module, you go on and bring in your swords for the second one, making it kind of the same way you made it the first one. Choose your textures you want to use, make your layout and what you want to have in them, place the fights in a basic way, and I go afterwards and polish it out like I did with our starting area there. But first of all, I want to get started with the basic logic. I mean, I've seen what you did here, and it works, and it's nice. It's definitely a solution to go with the restore points and stuff like this when you pick up the weapons, since yeah, you would lose them cause everything is a bit too complicated in the first place. That's the thing, is you can have it way more easier. Therefore, I actually grab this stuff here, which is fine for now. I mean, we leave the loadout, we leave the game settings. The game settings are more or less fine. The only thing we want in this game settings, we make sure that spawn the demon bear spawning grid keep inventory on respawn is true. Yeah, this little option here allows you to really forget about all the stuff you made in between if you align the logic in the first place in the right way. So that's actually the thing we now actually change here. Yeah, okay, but I'm looking on that later on actually, so I don't want to lose the focus here. So the one thing is, yeah, you never go and align everything on a player spawned in a way which it makes everything way too complicated. What you can do is either you go on map start, so either on map start, or what is way more easier, you take the module proxy, you go on entered module, you apply the modifier, you give the loadout, and you start the gameplay settings. The thing is, as soon as you make it run once, that's the way, yeah, it happens in the first time you enter the module, which is when the map starts and you actually spawn in this place. Afterwards it doesn't get triggered anymore, so there will be no changes, or it won't reset your settings, your modifiers and so on. That's the only thing you actually need to do. So that way on weapon pickup you don't have to restore the vitals, on spawn you don't have to restore the vitals, and so on and so on. It goes out through. I will do this through all the map now. Just delete these cause they are not necessary anymore. So that's just a little logic I have there connected for a little light spots, since you've may have seen I already changed the spot to give it a bit more substance in a way. Yeah, I know it like I said, you found the right way to circumvent it, but it's way easier to do it like this, cause now the thing is, everything just gets activated in the beginning. There's even if you get respawned now, it doesn't change anything. It is the setting will say, and all the weapons you give up is, since it is in the main settings, in the gameplay settings here, you have it's important, you have to, it's set to keep inventory on respawn. If this is checked, you're absolutely fine. Hey, I'm fine. We started make a little collaboration map, a classic map. Duma came up with some layout already, and I'm going afterwards and polish it out a bit and see, since he is a bit newer in the business in a way, so there are a few tricks he can learn. So the first one is actually to connect the proper stuff properly. So that's the thing. And the second thing I've seen is, I mean, of course it's easier, yeah, the forbidden delete one. Yeah, you can't know. The thing is, if you delete certain things, it can lag or even crash the map. So deletes are a no-go anymore. So what you do instead is you connect and disable, and also you connect a hide. It's a not more, but that way you will always be safe, that there will be no certain lag when you delete, when you disable stuff, and one that it is hidden in a way. The thing what I did again is, I mean, we need this not on entered, but what we will do is actually we make it more classic looking. What, of course, I want to avoid modern props as much as possible in a classic map. So what we actually do is just we go take us a trigger box. Ah yeah, there's another thing I've seen, since I think it was on the other one. Ah yeah, it was on this one. I changed that one already actually with the boolean. I mean, the boolean is a nice solution. I mean, if it's check one, that's another thing. I mean, I don't do it like that, since here now it is, if you enter it and you just if it's not checked, you get the message, or otherwise it is activating the thingy. So that kind of works too in a way, I think, for some weird reason. Yeah, but I do it different, but that's absolutely fine actually. I absolutely leave the boolean. What I want to do now is to, before I forget, is I take my my blocking box and change the size in a certain way that it, I have my examples here actually for teleporter versions, the normal one for the textile, and the hellish one I will use later on in the hellish environment and stuff. So what I now can do is on entered, basically I think this works the same, but I'm not quite sure if the prop and the trigger react the same, so I just use this teleport knot and get rid of this knot and this. So what we want to double check is that this one is make human usable as fails, custom filter we make just for the players, so no demons can accidentally teleport in and use it. We don't want that. In this case, later on maybe it could be useful in a way. That's another one. And the remove on, no, it's non-exact. So, and we don't want to show it on start this time. I mean, people normally know when they play a classic map that this might be a teleport and just walk straight into it. So this way we have a classic looking teleporter that does exactly the same the other one does. The secret is triggered, and what I wanted to add is what I added here actually on this one is make a little sound noise. So on triggered we play this, play, I mean, since we stand in front we don't have to make it way louder. Then if you place demons, yeah, there is this little line, yeah, depending on where they look when they spawn or teleport in many ways. So always be sure that this is kind of a line, since this is connected to the red keycard here, yeah, and all the demons look into the other side. It's a bit odd actually. You come around the corner, they spawn in and just look into the other direction instead of the player. So we make sure that we change their direction, so they actually look at the player when they spawn and he comes around the corner. The same with these. Also, what I now will do actually, since when I use spawners, I always make shortcuts what it is. So this is a Hell Knight, yeah, so we call him HK. This is a Hell Knight, so we do the same. That way, once we look through our map now, we easily can see, ah yeah, okay, oops, we easily see, alright, it just hasn't to be much in a way, but now we see, okay, this spawner is a Hell Knight, this spawner is a Hell Knight too. What's this spawner? This spawner is a soldier, yeah, so we just call him Soul. Just a short indication for us to know exactly which demon is actually the actual spawner. Otherwise, for once, if you need certain demons, you can actually go there, just copy them and use them in another area in the map. Easier to just see, I need a soldier, where is my soldier? Yeah, then you just search, ah yes, Soul, that's my soldier here, alright, can take that, easy peasy. And it just helps out in the first place in for the overview when you build a bit longer. I mean, you are a very quick builder. I mean, you will see. I mean, I'm pretty fast too in my buildings. Yeah, I took my time here and there now, and I waited especially with certain stuff that is got triggered. So what we have here, I found that this should be the one guys that get teleported in, right? Yes, that are the guys that get teleported in. When you spawn encounters that get teleported, always look on this node, yeah. Use teleporter visual effect, yeah. Go for no. The thing is, otherwise you spawn them, they have the visual effect here, and then they get teleported to the other place, yeah. There is a lot of time that gets lost in the process actually, and the player doesn't see it anyway, so they are actually fine when they just actually appear where they are, and then immediately get spawned, and then you can think of a teleport effect on the area you teleport them through. We can do that later on too. That's actually no problem too. That's what I do sometimes not. Sometimes I'm a bit lazy in this. So this is another imp, so just to know for us. And that's another single imp. Yeah, this is a single imp. Okay. I mean, they get triggered on two things, I remember correctly, so more or less. So just to have a short overlook what's going on. Ah yeah, okay, the thing is the second wave. So this comes out of this direction, just to remember. This is this direction. I didn't look at this. I saw it now actually, and make it a bit cleaner for me, since I have I mean, you made it, but since I'm the second one, I kind of have to research what you did there and where everything is, and then either can polish it up and make it more obvious for me at least, yeah, and in the end it would be as the same for you. I don't make it more complicated, or at least I won't make it complicated and don't explain you what I did, or I would really type out with explanations what I would do. So, but since this is a simple map, classic map, it won't get complicated at all. So what we have here now, yeah, these guys, okay, that's the first squad that gets spawned in. So, and I think they get spawned on map start, so that's actually quite fine. The same we can do here for once is teleport on spawn. That's the thing, yeah. It's true. We spawn the map with teleport effects. We don't need the effects since they spawn in the background anyways and appear on this destination. We can ensure that way that they are way faster. And teleport on spawn. This one, and here's the other soldier. I mean, we could. I use these two actually. I mean, normally not when I teleport them in. I'm actually using spawners. I'm normally just using these guys when I'm either in a weird space and stuff. But these are stable and stuff, so we can use nearly 100 of these guys, or 50 of these guys, until we reach that limit, and we never will reach any limit with this map for sure. Classic maps are very, very, very nice. Yeah, it like I said, it's not wrong to use player restore points when you give weapons, but with every item you give, with every upgrade you make, yeah, you have to think of, oh, okay, and I have to do the extra step and make the and make the and you always have to remember to make this little combination of vitals and reset the vitals. So it's way easier, it's way more uncomplicated, it's simpler, and it works absolutely the same way. Like it does. The same thing is if stuff gets messed up, yeah, never ever connect too many things to the player's spawn point. It always will fuck it up. I mean, if you make a one life map, it doesn't count, but as soon as you have it is used as a respawn point where you come back if you die or anything else, yeah, it always will reset the logic to the logic that is connected to the respawn point, yeah. But the logic has to be working on top of that, so we just avoid this by doing so. I mean, we could also make not even and that way the music starts later on. We go here for on map start, so the moment the map gets loaded in, the music starts and stuff. There are certain more complicated ways to do so and stuff like this. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. We keep it basic in this one here now, actually, cause yeah, it's me that makes the logic here. Have to connect. Oh, anyone could have told me that I'm in the wrong menu. No, just kidding. So in case, so that's our main thing. Then, since we don't use all the resources, of course we could now all secrets that get revealed connect also to the one, but it's fine doing it in a normal way as long as we don't do any stuff. The skybox is a way, of course. When I'm done, the skybox will be way higher, so we have a bit more of dimensional input and stuff. I have I mean, the skybox is the skybox. I have all the settings. This is the sample for the walls. Down here is the the floor is placed already. I mean, the same is I aligned the floor properly, so it actually doesn't clip into another floor. I show you. You will see that I did a bit more interior work too. Of these I have a sample I use later on and stuff, so don't worry. I want to use all the stuff you provided in terms of layout and texture choice, but just give it the right polish that it looks solid. That's the plan. I think we come along, and like I said, once the first part is done, we kind of do it the same way. You come up with your idea what you want in this place, what weapons, what demons, and so on, and your basic layout, and then I polish all over it, and in the end this will be a really nice map, cause I'm very lazy sometimes with encounters and stuff, and the way you put it up already is interesting. All the stuff, all the decorations, I just align it a bit more to make it a bit either more useful or a bit more interesting for the eye. Yeah, that's my intention in this way. And in the end, once I give it back to you and you publish this, yeah, you will see everyone will like this map. And it's also of course of the way you came up with when do you give the weapons, what is the secrets and stuff. So I keep everything you come up with in the first place, and just give it a little floppy touch. So now let's make a save since we changed the first few things, and then I show you what I mean by changes I did. So I mean the other stuff I haven't seen it. I mean the simple way the layout was, or the layout was the same, but just with the big textures. We forget about the skybox at the moment. Skybox is the thing you place last, or I'm built around in the whole module. That's, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Depends on how much I need it for Windows or anything other details later on. So, but in the first place I want to see my grid. In certain place I want to have a bit more space to work around or and stuff, and then later on all the things, the basic stuff like skyboxes get added later on. It'll fit anyways, so that's not a problem. You'll see. I'm actually done with this first area now, and we'll go on to the next area, and then you will see what I did here and what I will do until we reach the green door. It won't take too long actually. Now I have my overlook of the map. So what I did first is I made a little area for the shotgun here and took it out of the first secret, but yeah, the thing is, yeah, you really need it a bit earlier, cause yeah, it's a bit of a pain of the ass, and you don't want to have the players kinda miss out on it in a way. So what I did is I made this little side area here. I made a nice little door with interior and the place where you actually pick it up, connected out to this little thing, gave it a bit more edge and a bit more substance in the first place. And then you go around the corner, then I have the area where the keycard is, also gave it a bit more detail, aligned everything nicely. So, and now once you pick it up, these guys spawn, and as you can see now they are looking at us, which is not that weird thing they did before, where they just went. And I like the encounters. I mean the imp on the boxes works quite well, the imps in this area work quite well, and the Hell Knights, so overall that's a decent thing that absolutely gets a nice feel. I also used these textures here you placed on the wall and made a little build with all the props you provided in this corner, which is accessible for everyone, for the demons, for the player, and looks a bit more. And also the thing is, I know up front it was the, can you please, at the first place every wall was like this texture here, and I thought, yeah, this can be the interior texture more likely. That's what I actually want to change here. I want to bring this maybe here for a good use too instead of that, but for now. And then the same with the huge secret wall. Oh, I forgot to connect. Yeah, that's on me actually. I forgot to connect the stuff. Oh, I did connect. Yeah, I didn't connect the door. That's why I was on before. Yeah, so we come to this one later. Wait a second. So that's, and always replay, then you'll figure out. So yeah, the thing is on triggered. I forgot that I have to disable and hide this one. Make sure this one is not static. It's not. Great, we are good to go. So now we can replace it. So, and just since I don't go into, even so I want to test it out quickly, is the same as what I did here. I placed a few more details, so it is actually a literal door frame. Changed the design inside a bit for the teleporter, another floor, another height, so it hasn't to be super way high, but it's still all aligned. So it's the different color. I mean, it's obvious more or less, yeah, but it has in a way to be a bit obvious. Maybe I darkened this out a bit. That could be a thing. Also, I think I have to go a bit more orange. Yeah. Yeah. That makes, I mean, everyone that sees the stream now actually knows about the secret, but now this is actually way better from the optics. Now we see, I mean, it doesn't even matter if there is a slight disalignment, as long as we build very precise and everything around. Not every little gap you see is indicating a secret, but now I mean, it's just a mega health, so and not a necessary shotgun. So now this looks like a nice secret actually. Yeah. So yeah, now and then you get teleported inside of the thingy. Since we have no ledge grab and no double jump, and I'm all for it actually in a classic map. You have way more possibilities to create a geo around the possibilities and the mobility the player has. With secrets like this, it wouldn't be a secret to get this mega health here, yeah, if you could climb up here and easily get it. But now you see there's a mega health, I want it, okay, that has to be a secret. You find the secret door, teleport over. The way it is actually rewarding the player is way higher this way. So that's absolutely the thing. I may align these a bit different and place them a bit more around to make the player go around in the arena more. Maybe I add 1 or 2 demons too in the fight, but for now it is actually quite okay in a way. So we are kind of okay what when it comes to this. So I mean, it was a disalligned, but I kind of like the idea to make a door that way. I never did that before, so I decided, okay, when we open up the door, it could look like this, to make everything clearer now, since now we enter the next area. So now we are gonna build on this here. Our ground, solid ground, will be this gray here. I made it smaller so I have my grid to can align my stuff later on, but this will be our ground texture. And for the roof, it will be the upper roof, but we will find another roof later on, since we have some different heights and stuff, so there will be a bit distinct. I won't change the layout of the hallway. I like how it has this snaky like way around. The area where you get the next gun will be around here. The thing is, we now fill up all this with a certain amount of detail, and I came up with, I will use this one here for the basic pattern of the detail in a way of the walls. That's absolutely fine. I mean, I will straighten out the corner a bit, so since I align my stuff actually with my snap increments, so everything I do is actually measured in a way, since I always have my grid size, which I don't use much in classic horse. I go more for the look of the texture when I align my walls than I go for the grid measuring. It's way better to do it that way, but important is my alignment of 15. The increment, my movement speed is actually in the moment is okay, and we can stick with that. So yeah, but that way I can adapt to the grid in a way, so that's a thing we want to keep. So in the first place, the trigger box can be where it is, but we don't want to show triggers. We clean up, hide. So now we have our 2 doors. The logic of it will be done later on. I think it is actually set. What we now do is grab our detail part. Yeah, the thing is, if you delete one blocking box, there is not much stuff happening. As soon as you do more than once, it gets tricky. So we transport this, we also transport this over here, to our workspace. Your skin wasn't bad before, but yeah, I mean, I have a few settings on my skins too. Actually, sometimes I mess around with these, for cause there are so many options, why don't use them actually? So this one was the red door for the key card. May find another solution for that, but now that's what I always say is making stuff more interesting is framing. So what we do now is actually, what I will do now is I make a nice doorway here. So the first thing I do is I take these bars are my best friend, next to a few others textures actually. So what, then we have this, how much is this? 70 is a bit small. So the thing is, we actually keep it like this for now, because we can indicate our red door in between with a nice strip of reddish, and I think I know which texture would be great. That way we can actually take this is red already, and we just go for these, because we are pretty much very close to one. Yes, we are. Also the thing is, we don't need a height that's distracting. Oops, I hate my controller. So what we can do now is we check the pixels. I really like the classic textures, cause the pixel stuff is actually quite nice. This is the depth. So now there's the this is the one, yeah. So what we do now is we're putting up this back to this, align it with this, yeah, come up. Not too far, not too close, otherwise we have a clipping texture, and we don't want clipping textures, at least I don't want to. So now what we do is we go as red and bright as we can. So yeah, that's a nice indication. I think there is a text that tells you that you need a red key, but we now also have a slide, and actually I don't like it like that, I have to say. We make it double the size, or even more. Let's test something. We go here, and no, that's the wrong one, this is the one. So where's the texture? Here's the texture. Yeah, that's better. Now we avoid these things here, and now we avoid these things here. So we just have this metal frame around it. Yeah, that's way more interesting to look at actually. So dip, take this, take it here, so well, that's, now we align the door. Yeah, so now it is aligned on this end, more or less, and on this end. And we might actually do this and use this also for the roof in front of the door. It looks kinda nice. So now we just have to, could keep it the length it is. Oops, it was too much. actually no, I don't want to. I really want it here. Even so, I mean that's a bit fiddly, but that's what I like, and it's absolutely worth to do so. So and to prevent from sticking through, yeah. I mean these stick out now, but not too long. We could shorten them easily now since they are laid down. So but now we have a nice red door implemented into the wall, which will be okay for now, but it's too close. Yeah, you see, that's the thing now. It wasn't. It's aligned a bit too hard. That way, it'll clip on the distance, which will make it the same here since we just copied it over. So we go a bit out of the thingy. Not much. It's actually just a tiny bit. You need to, and nothing will happen. But yeah, that's nice for now. That indicates our red door. On this area we have space inside of here. What we do now is we just raise it up so we have the space of the rest of the door, where we actually can use the easy method we had before. Over here, and use it for this one. Here it is. This is a maxed out door. We use this. We need this. We also need it for the other side, and we want this one in the front. So once we have set up our certain details in an appropriate way, we can easily take them and adjust them to our build. This is the end, so we keep this one here. We have these both. Now we just go back, set them here, align them properly, and can now, since we have laid it down, it's easy to adjust it to the other door. Bam. Seeing this, we can go a bit further. So now we go into the wall, grab our door, going downwards, because we want to see the frame of it, but we don't want to see the actual black parts of it on this side. I mean, the door disappears. We don't have, I mean, set it up like this. Yeah, of course, when we would use movers now, the door could be open sideways even, yeah, which would be actually quite fancy, and stuff like this, or upwards. And as soon as it disappeared, it looks normal. If we would reuse the door, we of course have to check on these. I mean, this is now not the same size as the door, and I actually don't care cause the door disappears and stays away anyway in the moment. So therefore, in the end, it looks like a proper nice solid door frame and everything is fine. But of course, these would be attentions when it comes to stuff like advanced movers and stuff in the usage. And you have to be aware of there are two sides of the metal actually, and it would be look that nice that, I mean, we could prevent it. Actually, we have it quite easy since we are on the side. We can make this one 23. Yeah, that's actually working. 23 and 23. They are aligned before, so they are aligned now as well. So actually now there could be would be able to make a mover that one moves it in this direction and in this direction, and in the end it would look kind of okay, even so this string actually doesn't work for, oh, you see, I'm stupid actually. Since I actually that's a new thing. Since I never do doors like this, I absolutely forgot about the physics about this. So what we want here is actually, we don't want this stripe on the ground. No, in this time we actually want it here, cause these are the sides of the doors actually, and where the door is guided. So actually it has to be on the top and on the bottom, not like the doors that go upwards on each side. You see. Oh, there's always it's the little details that make the huge difference in the end. So trust me on that, and it's done very easily once you've done it once. So, but it is worth it. I can feel that it is worth it. So now we have the mover line here and there, and we don't need this one anymore. And what can we use as the basic of the door then? Either this one. Is it repeating already? Yeah, it is repeating already, right? Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that one. Wait. Yeah, make a double stripe, why not? Yes, this is the one. It's 24, it's 24. Yeah, just in case we need it later on. And the height is way too much. We just need, let's say 150. Oh, that's too short. Okay, so that's enough. We leave a bit on the top, since if we change stuff up, did I delete the door? I did delete the door, right? I did delete the door. Of course I did delete the door. Or did I move it around? No, I deleted it. Well, that was our door. Such a shame. Yep, I deleted the door. Things can happen. Unfortunate. Oh wait, actually, since the map is quite simple, there it is. That's where I deleted the door, when I clicked on these. I knew it. So yeah. And I mean, we also can use these on the ground too, just in case we leave, oops, we leave one out, so that way not one, two. Let's make it three later on. Maybe we need it for the details, so it's not getting lost in the floor. Double check on what it's blocking and what not. So it's nothing blocking at all. Great. And yet again, wait, we can use this one, and we take this has the size we actually wanted, more or less. Yeah, okay, let's go for this. I got an idea actually. Let's go with this, and we go for one only. That can be enough. I'm not quite sure if it fits precisely into. Yes, it does actually. So the thing is, yeah, it fits into, and then we make this the same. way the thing is now the texture is connected properly, so we have this little black frame we can use when we disalign it of the other one without having weird gaps. So it would be looking different if we would turn it around. It would go from dark gray to white, and in the moment you are not aligned properly, you get this bright color. If you make it the right way, it goes over into the thing it was before and fits a bit better in. So you always have to keep in mind in which direction you place them if you want to go on proper details. So that's a bit of a thing. So now take our door again, search a bit for the middle, middle, and align it here, align it there, copy it over there, feels about right. I mean, it's a door. So and now we don't think of the distance. So now we have a proper door that opens to the sides, has rails on the floor, and so on. Coming to the interior. So what we want, we build our basic model now. We have a wall that is long like this. Give me. I need. So the thing is, the wall gets out a bit longer, just to give a bit of more space to work with, to give the door a bit more space. So just go over here. So now what can we do with this one? I mean, we have the boxes and we have the big corner around. So we actually can say it goes to this spot here, where it actually goes over here. Then we come to the angle, and then we have this area properly for our convenience. So what I do now is actually I double check. So this would be the right alignment for our wall until here, until there. These are 3 blocks. We can adapt this here, no matter if this one is one out. We want the right alignment. We go for this one. We go for that one. Because these are now our size we use to create a nice entry area, where we even could place some demons in the sides. We will see how this will go. I have 3. That's why it looks disaligned. There's the gray panel on the floor. Gotcha. So okay, this is our wall, and it goes over. We actually keep this thickness for now. It's always a bit better to work with a bit thicker wall. Sometimes demons can glitch through too thin walls. What a tongue breaker. And so normally it is a bit better to work with thicker walls, especially since we have a lot of space to work around with, since this is all free space for now, which is a good thing. It's always nice to have a bit of free space in between. So what we now do, and I really have to get rid of this floor. So what we do is we align it properly. Close enough. corner. Texture is not that necessary because we use our always useful frames. What we now can do is take this controller and search for the texture we want. Oh, actually we don't actually need texture in this corner anyway, so let's go for 45 for now. So, and the next thing is, now we are searching when the texture is repeating itself, which is in this case here. Yeah. And these are the areas where we want to make a good use out of the wall texture of the other walls. So to give it a better look, we actually go down to this area here where the texture ends. So now we have this full texture inside of here and a little door frame. This can be our basic wall. Just to make it a bit easier now, I'm going here and changing the size a bit, because we don't need so high stuff. It's way too overwhelming in so many ways, and it doesn't feel too good in my opinion. So the thing is, this overlapping in the end is okay. Yeah, we can switch in between. Once we can use this one, or we can switch it over there. We can go even one further. Actually, this one can be way smaller than. So we just want to keep basically all the options of details. Yeah. Actually, I think I have to go one smaller. Might be okay. So yeah. So now we can switch things up. We have this option with this direction, more or less. We have this direction. We have it in the middle. We could use this in the middle. We could use just this in the middle. Everything is open now for us to make and use. So what I do next is I copy this one, switch the size by 1 so it's not clipping into our connection, so, and change the upper texture to something simple at first, I think. I mean, we have to create this. This is, I have to swap the color back again, but how good would these look? No, these are too big. These don't look fine. No wonder I'm in the wrong. So we go for this is the ground we are using. Let's go for these. Keep it like that. These look nice and handy, and that's our ground now. We lift it up until we reach our ceiling. In the ceiling we can see how good does it fit actually. Oh, it does fit actually quite well. I'm actually quite happy with that. My death zone is not properly on my controller, absolutely not. So now do is this. So this will be our wall pattern for now. I think that's quite okay. So okay, so wait a second. We just Oh wait, I forgot about something. For one, this is not aligned. Big mistake. And now what we can do to give it again the beloved details is we need one of these, and I need my light stripes. Where is my light stripe? There it is. For now. So that's the same as you don't have to make full blocks, but when you use them, make sure the gray area, the dark gray area is spotting in the middle. That way when you don't align them completely, you always get a gray frame on both sides. If you would try to align it on that way, you always have this weird texture problem, or you make a complete full block of 48 by 48, which is where this texture is repeating itself. Then you are free to roam in every direction and always get the best result in aligning the texture. So, but sometimes I wanted to use smaller ones, so it's normally I just turn them around and everything is fine. So you need one block of these here and one block of these here. Of course, have you done one side, normally if everything is done right, the other side should be the same. Oh, we can go even more advanced now that I think of it. Yeah, I've got an idea what we do. Changed my mind on this one. So then we have this here and there. So actually we use the full size of this texture and go for this one. There you go. We don't mind if these little panels back there are not aligned anymore properly, because our main focus is on the details like this. That's not a problem any. So now what we can do is we can align this wall next to the pole and keep the pattern of the walls. That's the same thing we're gonna do for the other side. We align this properly to this one. And switch things up. That's why it's always interesting to get your concept, your basic what you want, and then make your proper little build like this. Since now we have even more options in a way, now we could effectively use this, for example, in a height of, let's say these are 6. Now we raise up. Search for something interesting. For example, okay, let's stick basic, and we go down. This height is determined by how many lights are properly shown. When we go up there, we make 6 down, and let's say we make 4 up here. And now we can, I'm not quite happy with this gray one in the middle, by the way, but it's a tad bit too high. So reduce the size by 1. And now we we could make it like this, even so I'm not quite happy with this. So what we will do is we reduce this to 3. That sounds more interesting. Check out this, align it up there, and now we have a different thing. I think I like it. Since we repeat this basic wall texture, it will look way more interesting later on, when every wall has this little space in between, and then the detail actually works quite well. So that's our wall pattern for now. We can work on there, we can place stuff, we can use it as secret doors. What I do now actually is I select all the shenanigans here. Don't forget about the little ones. We got the little ones, we got this one, we grab this, we grab that, have everything okay. Then we go and copy this one, and now we are good to go. Now we can build like a madman. Yeah, I just made my my wall pattern. It'll be nice. It will be simple and nice. So now we can get rid of the placeholders over here and actually use our big guy here, align it properly to this one, which is a bit bigger cause now there are these little ones, but we don't need it anyway. We just did like this, we don't need this, we don't need this. And now we have our own big custom prop we can use to align and bend to our behavior. Let's go like this. So since this edge is a bit sharper, the height is not set yet, so I don't want to use that height anyways. That's not the height I want to. So, and we first make this interior, this entrance area now. What I can do now is align this, setting it up to this, and actually make it another copy so we get a bit more into the room. So that's the thing. Now we can go with our first little pedal of floor. We need this at max. Actually now I'm exactly on the same height like I am on my doorway. That's set. I have to just copy it actually. I'm not fussed about it now. So we just make a copy. That way we don't have to align too much stuff. Come on, give me a bit, give me a bit, give me a bit. Oh, I still forgot this texture actually. Okay. The one time, once you have to think in another direction, it's always the same. Come on, can use this from that. But wait, I deleted this thingy, right? Yes, no, I didn't. It's right there. Why couldn't I see it? So I make it a tad bit wider. Doesn't interfere with the other one. That's why I actually like to use interior and exterior two blocks, even though they have the same space and or use the same texture, just for the convenience to have an easier time to align them. So that's set. Now this is obviously okay. Let's go. Yeah, grab this one, stick it through. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, boy. Got you, didn't I, you little sucker? So what I can do now is turn around. That's for example why I made this on the ground at least 3 tiles high, because now actually I can go, is this the one downwards? Yes, now I can go for 1 or even 2. I can actually go for 2. That's our floor, which is too high. That says to me that this okay, of course it's 2 and I'm side aligned. Yeah, I got you. Oh my god. Tad bit up. Length down a bit, since it's not necessary anyways. So chop. So and now we can easily align it without a clipping or anything weird, since we have this little border, which is fine since it is a side opening door. Basically, at least we pretend it will be. Come back to me, texture. Yeah. Wonderful. So we not only have to worry about this little space outside, and I think it's tad bit too bright. I want a bit more contrast in all this stuff. So yeah, that's nice gray. So we don't care about that. We make a higher area around it, or even I make it bigger later on. I'm not sure about that yet. Haven't figured that out so far. It's not how far I think up front. But basically, yeah, let's do this, and this, and this. I got that idea. I mean, it's a big friggin' red door then, but I'll test it out. Let's see how it looks. Well, that's fucked up then. No, it's not, since I made it properly. That's why I aligned it on this one, so I actually don't have to think about too many of the factors that can disturb the force. Nope. More like it, but not quite. The bam. So, and now, since we have our second wall part in here, just squish it on top like the cherry on the cake. Tiny bit. Then we can make the oops, rip. That's for example why I normally tend to keep them as short as possible. It's way more forgiving to work precise on precise details later on than it is just meshing together huge big props. I always did it because I was lazy and stuff, but these are the little tweaks you can really help your build. So give this door a tad more of a detail. We place some more lights. Lights always are good. Lights are our friend. We love lights. Don't we, Shadesman? Don't we? We love a good light as well as a good laugh. So I think the lights are 24 by 24. Yeah, so looks correct. And the height is actually 6 height. Oh, we're good. So that's basically in the settings we want. We keep us one example out there because we might use them a lot. So what we can do now is search for the texture cut. Oops. Wow, god damn it. Texture cut into the wall, I wanted to say. So we actually get the most out of it, since we can use the gray frame of the sides of the texture to give it a bit more dimensional impact. So we keep it still simple. We don't want to overdo it with details. We keep it simple and solid, but still nice to look at. I think this is... I'm not sure about that, but yeah, no, okay, no, that's fine. It's fine. Actually, that's a tad bit of detail that's missing out there. I have to maybe to frame this one a bit more too, to make it a bit look more substantial. Who knows? This is minor nitpicking later on. I mean, the good thing is the gameplay is set up already for the area. So, oh yeah, and the door carpet in the front. So we go. Where do we go? Let's go for classic brown, like in classic snow. Want it this way or want it that way? We want to pull the player right into immersive as it can be. So this is close to the middle. There we go. Since this is higher than the ground, we don't have to worry about clipping into this one anyway, so we just have to line it properly to this one, and bam, we got the transition to the interior. It's the small things I can't live with actually sometimes, but it's okay, Fluppy, don't, no. Because there is always an edge that is a bit witchy. No one reacts to this, yeah, that's just my personal thing. I actually one of my maps. So now, and show the logic. So now both are disappearing, right? Yes, both are disappearing. We have still the trigger box not blocked by the door too much. Looks okay. No, we don't. So what we can do is this there's the blocking box. Where's the trigger? Oh, it's locked. That's why. Stupid me. So can be triggered here actually already. Yeah. So now that we have this, we make a save, because we have a lot of progress achieved. We don't want to lose it. That would be not good. Not good at all. And then we come to the good old gameplay testing. mean, this nearly took an hour now, but this hour of work brings us to the next, nearly the next section, at least for the basics. Get instant results. Oh, shitty boy. Maybe we have to place him a bit around the corner so he doesn't get stuck. You know what? Fuck you. So now we have this. Shield up, ammunition is fine. I mean, we can go now for the secret now, and that's, yeah. Everything looks alright when we open it up. Alignments are okay. Nearly seamless. Oh, okay, and this teleporter is too slow, too low, so I have to replace him. I switched him down because he was a bit too high up, and I forgot to double check on that. I didn't test the teleporter now, so yeah, that's when you spawn teleport into the module, into the block. But yeah, then we have little side area outside where we grab the key. And we have these guys spawning. I actually really like. The enemies can handle the geo no problem. They can go around more or less. You can keep them with the boxes a bit busy, but that's good. We want that. Do we? Which E1M2 song? Classic. I mean, the shame is I actually want the song of Doom 2 of the first level. That would be funny as fuck. And, I mean, yeah, more music is always a good thing too. Yeah, I'm always for that. So yeah. So now, yeah, it needs a bit more, I think. Yeah, but it's a red door. Now we open the door, and this immediately feels way better when I look at this. It's mostly aligned in a way. We go around, and then we have this as a wall pattern, which gives it already. Yeah, we can work with that. What I was talking of the song, no, it's I forgot what it's called, but it's this actually ultra happy solo, MIDI solo thingy, and I actually kind of forgot now what it was. So, but yeah, it's not the IM song. It's called differently. Oh, I don't have it much with the names of the songs. I have to admit. The same with the level names with the classic ones. It's nothing that stuck in my memory that much. Okay, what we now figured out, that's why it's important to test a lot, is this guy here. Yeah, always make sure the blue thing is fully above it, otherwise you actually teleport into the boxes. So just to make it a quick test, I just run into the secret and see if I get spawned in a weird way. I mean, I get spawned into the imps and stuff, which is a messy thing, but I actually just want to see if the teleportation destination is proper right now, so we can go on. You don't see that I am fully hyped to build this map. I wouldn't ask me now to play anything. It's not a good idea. The thing is that I might not play any map the next 8 hours. I maybe have to think to cut the stream on one point, otherwise it gets very expensive for me. Cause other than other YouTubers on the thing, I pay for be able to stream actually, cause I don't have an internet flat rate. all the time I spent streaming actually cost me money, around a $5 a stream. So nope. But yeah, our teleport destination works. The thing is, okay, now I didn't mess up the thing. I kind of like the boolean on the door to either showed what is actually needed or actually open the door once the thing is picked up. That's more logic and more clever logic I normally put into my maps actually, but it's quite interesting. So even I learn about stuff when I play things. So now it's working. Yeah, making it with the boolean is such a simple thing, and normally I don't use booleans on things like that. I just indicate the walls what color is needed and make the doors accessible as soon as it is, but that's a way more polished version. I really like that one, so we definitely keep the boolean idea, and I actually will adapt that maybe if I remember it in maps of mine. Yeah, that's on my list to do, but then there comes the next unemployment series, the next bills to pay and stuff, and of course it's a way more expensive to stay online like that. Yeah, but I had to figure out my balances and stuff to be able to make internet thingy too. So that's the thing. Yeah, cause you don't get them when you have costs open and stuff like this. There are many reasons why it contract, and then I'm a lazy fuck and didn't look after it. But actually, it's on the point of agenda this week. Good friend of mine, she actually wants to look for another provider too, and she said we will look together so you got finally your better internet. That has to be done, and I said yes, mate, let's do this. So I think she said Friday, and then yeah, I double check on that. No, not until I get exhausted by this map anyway. So it is it, it is in the goods for the map actually that I'm actually quite hyped to build on it. It actually hooked me up to make this, since the layout is given, the pickups are given, the encounters are given. It's just using the layout what is provided, make it a bit more prettier, and then that's actually quite enjoyable and entertaining for me at the moment. So, and in order to keep it, oh, I actually got this one already. So yeah, and to keep the flow, I am actually eager to do this as long as possible. So that's the thing now. This, for example, we can also use then for our secret door we have over there. Yeah, maybe later on. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure how long I wanna build and wanna do, and but yeah, it's always an option. It's always an option. Oh shit! It's actually quite hard when you turn off your mind building in a way and try to talk to it. It's an interesting challenge. I kinda enjoy, but stupid things can happen. So okay, yeah, the thing is now, since we changed our, like I said, interesting workaround when you attach to the player the loader to the player spawn to make sure that everything you pick up actually is in the player. But now we don't need this. We can save up this cost. We can work around that later on. So we can, this one triggers also an encounter, so we just keep it on the side and we leave this out. We leave this, we come around the corner now, so to ensure that we don't come around, and we also want to ensure that we stay in the module since we have connected modules later on. That's the thing, is you will see if you connect modules. I never connect modules, most likely for one reason, is if you connect the module, the connection point has to be built very precise, yeah. So I know for sure that this one, when I tested it, yeah, glitched out, since this one is entering the other module. As soon this happens and you come over this barrier, the game can't decide is this text, is this prop in this or that, or and you clip out like your skyboxes do sometimes. So the most important thing is, if you have connected modules, is you align it correctly, yeah, which you can do most of the time easily. I mean, this one is, I think, big as fuck, and no, you actually can't even connect. So you have to align it at least inside, yeah, and can go as close as possible into the module if you want to use connected modules. Every block that is stretching into the other one, sometimes even the slightest, yeah, is interfering with the way the blocks behave, and they will clip out and stuff like this. So, and I had something attached. Wait a second, we reset this to what it was, just in case, cause I don't know what I changed over there, and I don't want to lose it in case it is something important. So yeah, that's another thing. So since these are all huge blocks, I mean, what we do is we keep the sample in a convenient size, so we don't forget about it. That's our main ceiling color there. Yeah, like I said, now I manage my financial situation a bit better. I am actually able to get a contract, a proper contract. That's what was one of the main issues. So, and like I said, I do it. I'm actually, it's on next month's plan in the startup. So for our workaround, so wherever we now need our part. Our part is now the thing. We go sharp, and let's say we go here. That's fine by me. Now we leave that out, but we don't want to lose. We don't want to go too straight or too sharp into it. I kind of want to keep this area, so that way you can move around the corner. No, that's a too sharp angle, actually. I don't like it, so that's better. So what we have now here, so now we can take our next wall piece, going straight for the lines. I'm placing a block just in the corner in case the demon sometimes has the funny freaking idea to actually jump through. So to help us with that, we're going here. So now what we are doing is this can be opened up now, and the only thing is we need this height. We can actually make it even simpler. We just make this one longer. This one. Line the front again. Like this. Get our shooty woody we want to have. And we go even longer than so that we don't immediately stand inside of it. So we go for the max we can afford. exit blocks here anyway, where we can align it like this. Props on the side for a while. That's it's nice on the secret. Well, actually, since we have so much stuff, we actually give it even go a bit more outside of the box. Make this one. Take the same over here. But in here we actually go for our of course we don't get the texture in the first block, so it's actually kind of a waste to use this one here. Okay, let's go a bit more tacky, since we have the small one. Yeah, we can use this pipe actually, that's cool. But am I able to get it on this side too properly? No, I'm actually, of course I'm not. Or actually I am. I get the texture I want. Yes, I do. Don't give a shit. I want this pipe texture in the corner, so I get my pipe texture in the corner, even though this looks pretty shitty. No, it's fine. The lighting on this one is going downwards and on this one is going upwards, but at least I got the texture in the corner I want to have, so I'm happy with that. So this is a bit higher, which is good. We want to separate the height a tad bit, I think, since we have space due to our platform, so we don't have to align it, since we are absolutely straight on the line of where the actual textures repeat. So that's the thing. The problem on these walls, I like them a lot, yeah, but one are small, the next is bigger, and as soon as you change the height, yeah, the alignment is, you literally have to skip the complete texture through if you want to align it properly. I don't take that attention on some places because I can't give a fuck, because it's way too nice. But since we keep it simple, we actually can take this to account and make it use. I mean, it looks nice for sure, but will be overseen by most people that play through anyways, since, yeah, I mean, of course, I force people to take it a bit slower by if you run too fast, yeah, you run into really serious trouble. So you can trigger a lot of stupid stuff when you run too quickly in a room, like in old Doom. It was actually it was the case too. So yeah, but so the thing is, of course, we want to separate it. We could either separate it again, just with a different color, which actually sounds like the best idea. Not too bright. I don't like it too bright. So yeah, that's a good one. And then we can actually check. So that's our door. That's our secret afterwards. And this. Don't want to even bother with this one. Way too complicated. make this very thin, cause it's the backward anyways. Oh, did I? Ah, that's why. Yeah. Doesn't have to be aligned properly. Widen everything. Oh, did he play it already? Okay, yeah, no, yeah, he is actually enjoys the games, the play style of my maps like I do. In a way, he's also not for this weirdy ass, super fast, eternal-esque combat style. So yeah, that's why I actually enjoy his maps a lot too. They are more and admiring the thingy around you and what's going on, and also but also be aware, cause yeah, you can get tricked very hard in his maps too, which is very funny to play. I definitely watch that one later too then, cause it's always nice. I really appreciate when he is playing through the maps, cause he is really appreciating the details in the map and is looking at them, and it's always nice when you get this amount of appreciation for the little stuff. Cause that's the thing, I mean, of course the last map was quite short, but I have a prop count, yes, some people have in a 1 hour map. It's quite ridiculous, even though the resources look very tiny, yeah, the amount of stuff that is in the map is quite hilarious actually, and not to be underestimated when it comes to, cause it got already very wacky when it comes to I really had to take get sure that it will publish and everything is set up fine nearly with every little encounter step I actually managed to set up to really be sure that everything works. And since I kind of started to build the next part anyways and I want to be able to keep that amount of detail, yeah, I decided to just make a cut there. It's 10 minutes, has 50 demons. That's a lot of stuff for such a little map. Since some people still run through and don't get all the stuff, yeah, there is enough stuff even hidden, yeah, some is got teased, yeah, some is just by looking on in the corners and see the switches to put off, and I think that's quite enough. When it is in continuation, I mean, it builds a fuller picture, and it's just a small part of a bigger journey. So yeah, so now we have this, and how good is our ceiling aligned actually? Not really. Okay, so which means I could go deeper. Wait a minute. Just see something. I'm pretty sure I got a. Yes, I do have a gap actually. I do have a gap. I hate gap. What can we do about gap? Tell you what we do with gap. We make gap disappear. Gap left. Fucking hell. These are the minor things that can happen, yeah. When you don't think of every freaking corner. But we can make this bigger. This is fine. It's like we remember that earlier. The thing what but that's the stuff that I can do later on too. Then I just out of it. We don't want gap. Gap no good. Even so, I highly think it would have taken a while to actually realize that there is such a gap. But what we do now is we use this. Can keep the ceiling simple in this one. Or bring in a different light source maybe. That's a, I bring in a different light source, exactly know what I do. I know what I wanna do. Scooby-Doo, I wanna do. Do. It's aligned now. Fucking hell. But it's not long enough. Alrighty. Oh, it would be, but I don't care. We make it like this. We make it here. We can make a double secret now. We can teleport up to here and use this one again if we want to. Being efficient with the build as possible, which is not really needed, but we will see. No, it's not really needed, I think. So now we have this, we have this, we have this, we have a ceiling in the room bar. So do I want to add slides later? So then we have a thing to trigger it, and again, like I said before, we deleted this one. So what we do on triggered, oh yeah, here we go, there's the one. We can get rid of this trigger used, and of the delete, we don't want to delete, we don't want to hide. It can go well 9 out of 10 times, but also go very wrong the one other time. So it's the way we want to do this, and we hide, ensure that this one is it's static false. It locks everything beside of this. I figured out that the main issue Calco demons and stuff is not really working is that all my props are now set to don't block AI. I said I don't give a fuck if they start shooting earlier in a way, but it's way better for the performance. And when it comes to publishing later on, that's what triggered the most issues in my thingy. As soon as I forgot to make a bigger block, not or made it blocking the AI side, it fucked up the save and more or less the option to actually be able to publish it on the PlayStation. That is causing a lot of issues, cause there is a lot of calculating, I think, in the background when it comes to the possibilities of the AI, what they can do and what not. So that made a huge difference while I was building last time. So I mean, what we can do is actually making a corner in this area here. Yeah, that's not even a bad idea, since I want to leave the space, cause there is a lot of big boys are coming in here and are actually disturbing the force, I nearly said actually. So since this is a sharp edge, give it a bit more details. We don't do this now on the other angles, but on full on edged angles, if you wanna say so. So then we can go grab our next part, but we don't go all the three back into this, cause then we actually end up in the module corner. We literally just go over here, and yeah, that's nearly where the old version was attached to, and basically it is where the old one is attached to. Yeah, I'm a very valid line. Keep the smooth angle it had before, cause we want a nice layout like this. Then we also go harder on this one. We can trick a bit to give this area here a tad more space, cause I want to get rid of the ultra sharp edge that is provided, so we kinda start mirroring the texture already in the prop. That's too much, come on, give me. I was actually quite well in the first place. Now this is good, this is nice, yeah. So we go around the corner into this, and then go more or less straight back, which is I want to have there something. Okay, we can. I know what I do. We go over here. Actually, that means can I place this? I make a light frame over there, cause I mean the encounter will get triggered by picking up the gun, but we make this area a bit more standing out, so the gun has a bit of a, you can say, of a little podium where it sits on, instead of just laying it simply on the ground, even so we just place it in the middle of the module. Let's go a bit out of line, why not? Can't turn it around that much anyway, so that's placed just so I can go, and therefore do I have it here already? This is the door. Do I have? Here we are. Therefore I want this little one. So this is what we have here, just to ensure that we go parallel. We filter this little helper here, so we have to hit this mark here actually. So oops, nothing happened. So now we just grab this, and let's go actually for the max we have here already, and I think we can use this later on to create a complete frame with that. So, but we are 2 walls away from this area, so just to complete this one, we go over here, grab one. I think we even go edgier. We have the space, and I think I need a space too, actually, just to create a bit more space with this one box there, cause yeah, we'll see actually. So what we do now is we went pretty sharp. It was really sharp, so now we actually start from this angle here and try to that's I mean it is that would be the angle, so it would focus on this area quite nicely, and I really want that. I want to create that look later on. What we do actually, I mean, we have space. Go rough around the corner, go around this. We have this. Yeah, that works. That works. I'm pretty sure that works. Now I can find the middle ground here. I can say I love when a flank comes to conclusion. Oh, that's an absolutely small compromise I'm totally willing to take in. Absolutely. So the thing is, now we keep this angle, can go a tad bit around. We have options. How high is this one? It's 25. I mean, we can make them walkable actually. I just have to build in an invisible step later on. So now that's the encounter for the secret. So what are we triggering here? We are triggering a thingy here. And what's that? Another thingy, okay. Alrighty. So I just make these green so I know it's a secret. My color codes switch and change sometimes, but yep. Just to keep the logic easier in place. So we have this one to disable the thingy on triggered. We can actually use this one and don't have to line them all up. That's actually fine by me. These are resources we have more than enough to spend. That's the good one with the classic stuff. So I mean, now there are the little things we forgot while I built my base model. So we add these quickly so it's out of the way. I mean, we are nearly done with the wall layout then. Oh god. That's the wall I switched slightly. It's so inconvenient. So unusual that I do so. I should do more often and get some not too focused angles, but on the other hand, it is way more enjoyable and less time consuming as it is already time consuming as fuck the way I build. So I may improve in that aspect someday. Maybe. Not, not quite sure about it, but maybe. What the weird glitch. Looks like it actually. I don't know. What was this? I have no clue. Can we see the neighbors in here? Yes, we can. Alrighty. Okay. And now is the thing I'm willing to take actually, cause now we come to the point where I can't make it aligned without going too deep. I don't want to go all the time on top on the same height actually. That's the thing. But on the other end, uh, I keep the texture. I mean, it is a break in a way. Cause the thing is, I don't even want the ceiling that high. I literally want the ceiling at maximum height. Um, the these blocks are anyway. I think don't need that, and we don't need this. This is old stuff. To I mean, I could actually. Okay, I know. I know what I go for. I know what I go for. So let's see. Yeah, we make this actually. We keep the line. I don't want to break up with the line now. Actually, it's okay if the entrance is a bit blocking what is behind it, since we get a very decent look here. We can place a nice decoration up here, and we actually stick. Do I want to go this side? Yeah, that'll be our height for our ceiling. Then the ceiling, this up top is not in a way, cause it is actually aligned with the outer wall, so we can still place our full skybox around it to create a more dimensional feeling for the outside area, and whatever we want to do outside of here won't interfere in any way. We are absolutely fine with that, and it looks way better when we have a certain alignment here then later on. Yeah. So let's double check. What I want to do now is actually let's trigger. Now okay, I have to align it again. I could say, cause fuck it. We can go full length for sure. We have enough, I think. Come on, coming back. But now, what do we have? Oops. The D-pad on this controller is so screwy. So we need more. That should be enough. I mean, you literally you can't time it other ways. I would say. I mean, it's not aligned in the length. How much do we stick? Oh my god, you can time it other ways. Yes, way too much. So going in. And up front we can go way to this direction until we reach the mark. So now we have a proper line we can grab. Just a bit. So since there's nothing happening behind this line, we're absolutely free. We have high enough props that provide a nice barrier here. That way we don't get any trouble over here. We don't freak through the module. We actually do with this one, but that shouldn't be any problem whatsoever. That's the lower model anyway, so okay, wait a second, that's good. Can prevent that, so yeah, totally fine. Even so, now my lines are not aligned anymore, so I have to go to the next one. So now doesn't come through anywhere else. No, it's not coming through. We are safe to the end over here, and we have our next area here, which is either having the same texture. I think I go with the same texture actually, because I have to make a slight corner, but I barely use half of it. I think that should be enough. See how it goes. Connect these on the pixel. Here we just need a slight bit, and then we make a little step that's connecting this mountain area thingy outside. So we kind of built a separate entrance to differentiate the interior we have here with the gray, and the outside where it actually goes to the next one, and there we can use a slight height change, so we don't have to fuck around with the border as much as it would be caused due to this weird angle we have. I mean, the thing is, I could go and align it like this already. The thing is, this texture is very is very forgiving. As soon as I pop it up high at a slight bit, um, yeah, it's hard to track. I could even go. Oh, of course, this is on 2. I can really go on 1. Is this all on 2? No, that's not. Because I don't want to be on 2. 1 is enough. This is 1. This is 1. Yeah. So now where was I? I mean, the thing is, that's why a simple texture like this is always interesting when you work with a ton of angles. Now this is obviously clipping. You see the snowflakes rising, but the thing is to figure out now where the actual border is. Of course, now everyone has you've seen it, yeah. But in game, when you are walking over this, you really don't see this anyway. Don't make it one higher. That's way too much. That is quite obvious to see. But if you just grab the prop, hold your on the controller, it's the right R2 stick, and go with the the right stick. It's the L2 button and the right stick, and then just dip it a tiny bit upwards. That's enough. So that's aligned, and yeah, like I said, it's not noticeable at all on the stream, I guess say, but that's absolutely enough to avoid the clipping, and you don't get a big border. That's actually the thing. Yeah, now you see, but this is a border that is less than 1. And a border less than 1 is a detail that goes down in the flow very hard. That's the same basically I did here. You lose a proper texture that is most likely kind of the same. It's homogeneous. I mean, of course, if you use the dotted lights and stuff, you would immediately see it. So if you go for something weird, yeah, you absolutely immediately see the corners and stuff, and then it's aligning is very stressful. So you always have to figure out and think with simple solutions in certain places to actually get the proper result. So and our workaround, I mean, since this flag is the same flag and behind the walls, you can still use the lights as accent points to create a nice combination of these and still get your shapes and angles and snap maps. So there is always an option, but yeah, that's why I actually, especially on the floors, I kind of want to keep it simple, maybe, because even if I would change the texture now to let's since the floor is placed, I mean, we can go now actually and experiment around now. I mean, we know the grays working just fine, so we can go for some really nutty business. For example, now we have this one. Since we aligned the next one pretty proper actually from the get-go, we also have the choice. So our texture is in line. Of course, it's not quite in line when it comes to things, because we are not snap to grid. Working with snap to grid on classic textures is hard. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's very hard, because the measurement of the textures in the textures, it is off the charts. It's something else. It has nothing to do with the measurement you get with snap to grid stuff. So what I can do now is, of course, I can go inside and search for it. Like I said, I go a bit up and search for it. So give me, I don't want to clip too much. So the thing is, to figure out where the actual texture is, we have to align the first texture block properly. So now we are clipping. Now I give it a slight more touch, and now we have it here. So that way I can avoid it. If we look really closely, we have a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, that's enough for the floor to not to avoid the clipping, as long as we don't have big places and are too far away. The if we would be really far away and would look on it, it most likely would clip still. But for the floor, how it works like this, and just for this small segment of the floor, it absolutely is fine. That way you can actually place on top of each other without even make it noticeable. The issue we have now is this one here. Since we changed the angle and the texture of course changed the angle too, we can now check what it's doing. I mean, I did it in some places where it's not that visible in a way, so we can trick the system in a way that we find a nice place, so we don't have just one barrier here, one corner here. For example, we can see how far can we go. We have a limit on here, So now we can say, okay, we make the last part and fit it in as possible, but that I would prefer to not get it across, so I would like it in more or less in a door area. So I would like the cut here. Oops. Yeah, revert and double revert, cause I need a block. So let's say we have it here. So I mean, we can of course align the textures later on too. Let's make a nice compromise. So we go over here, switch it up the way that it's not clipping, yeah, and say this walls later on will start here. That way you get off your eye mark will get off away a bit, and then the transition, of course, yeah, if you look properly you will notice, but a normal player won't actually. You are very close to the actual texturing, and since we make a door frame here or something at different height in the ceiling, yeah, everything will distract the eye from looking actually on the ground and really notice that there is a proper switch in the texture, a major switch. And as long as we don't focus our eyes on it, we actually get along with this solution very well. And I'm actually, like I said, this one is very forgiving too, due to the hexagonals and stuff. I'm actually like this quite a lot, since we might go with gray for the ceiling, and then I think we leave this quite like it is now. I'm actually really happy with this solution already. Yep, we definitely buy that one for $1. Oh, that's a good one. So yeah, problem solved. It's a bit of workaround, I would say, yeah, but that's the fun working with the classic textures in itself. You really have to handcraft your build way more than, or you dig through all the settings and dial in the numbers to align your snap grid and everything and fuck off. Yeah, but it's way more fun by pixel by pixel, build pixel by pixel. So, and then we can choose either, if the next area is going a bit higher or stuff, maybe we make a little, I think I might build a little step upwards and downwards here or something like that on the floor, and we'll see later on. First of all, since we aligned our area for the basic floor now for this area, we just use this one, cause it definitely covers up all of the build, and we have enough space around. Since the next wall there is a huge gap in between, we don't interfere with the other build in any way. No, we absolutely don't. Which means we now copy our small floor for once and figure out which height we want. In this case, most likely aligned to, so this is the one we had. I mean, it is really high. I'm more willing to go in a height like this. That way we have the triple. I mean, triples are always more pleasing than doubles or quadruples. Yeah, 3 is always gives a more pleasing result for the eye when it comes to looks than a even count is. So if you want to make something look interesting, yeah, take an uneven count like 5, 7, 3. It always looks more interesting than instead of that if there are just two things. Yeah, it is a little design hint you actually learn when it comes to room design and stuff. And yeah, it makes a huge difference to work around with uneven numbers. So in this case we go with the triple one. We have 1 and the repetition of this 1, and then we have a nice height. Its height is enough so every enemy can jump as high as he wants and so on. But just in case, we definitely want to make sure that this block is way thicker, not too thick actually. I have to see that I don't cross this border too much. Now we are absolutely fine, so we can go literally with 150 around. that's absolutely manageable for us. That's very nice to say. This is absolutely to our needs. So this shit again. Yeah, so back to the thingy. Now we got disconnect this one. Once we have the thickness of this block, we absolutely go for the, I mean, this is now not cause it was the other way around, of course. This is now, yeah, our actual repetition was in this one, so we copy it downwards for that one too, just in case we want to experiment around with different textures. It will help us later on. Oops. No, this number has to be changed, so somewhere in the hundreds, just to be safe. Also, block demons, don't block AI side, don't block, but block the player again. Yep. Just in the block AI side is failed. Oops. Block demons is true, yes. The same shenanigans with this block here. Also, when I see it already, is we also ensure the floor not blocking the eye side and not the player, just in case. It's always better or less complicated later on. The more stuff is in the map is that irritates the enemies, or the worse it gets actually. So since the floor is just decoration and we don't need to hide in any way anyways, we just work around like this. So, and do the same for this already, and outside area is coming afterwards, because there we have take very precise a look of we can't just stick the texture through it. We clip out and fuck up everything, and we don't want that. So now this one teleporter, so that's the one to this other area, and that's the weird thing. This one would cause problems if we just would have saved the map, but right now, right there, that would be really tricky. That's, I really don't like these teleporter stations, and also we get rid of them anyways and replace them with a nice texture and a blocking volume, which is way more. Yeah, this is totally bad, because as you can see, I can't grab this one properly. Dots. So now when I grab it, it literally jumps out of the thingy, which is a good thing. I mean, I keep that, then, and we go on to this one later on. Fire. So since we wanted to go for a nice gray, actually we go for a bit darker gray. Darker gray is a nice thing to have on the ceiling. I also changed the settings to default and went away from the classic environment settings. Make everything dark and absolutely embarrassing. I might even use the arena, polar core arena, once I have lowered the brightness of the blocks that I already used. I mean, most of the blocks I replace them with are in a lower are not that bright like the other ones are, because otherwise it gets very shiny. I want to have the lights what I want to have shiny, so they have to be a high color. These are now at the moment, so these are subject to change depending on if I do change the environmental settings or not. But these are things that these are more or less minor tweaks. I mean, yeah, I mean, as long as it's just these bars here, I'm okay with it. I kinda go with it. So the thing is now, okay, this pinky gets triggered by the secret, which says, yeah, this has to point at the secret. This is the stuff that gets triggered. It's looking in the right direction, but we use the space we have. I didn't even, okay, that these are hell knights. Make this one quickly, otherwise it gets confusing, because you want to easily see which one is which one when you want to switch the encounter, in case it doesn't spawn in a flowy way. So sometimes it gets a bit, so this is another hell knight. Yeah, we don't want to have two hell knights sitting right on top of each other when they spawn. This is also a thing. I like to use the normal demons when I have this area built up like this. I actually go really to the menu to get a certain feel what is my room about, and actually use the normal demon spawners, because now you can say that this is my hell knight. Yeah, placing the two hell knights like this to each other is not even, it is possible, yeah, but yeah, that way you can say, okay, this guy takes out this room, this space, yeah. We also kind of wanna keep them away of these thingies, so we have now nice little places for details. Maybe we make a little line to guide somewhere. That's actually quite nice idea, spreading out a bit, so even more. So that way we could say we use these to guide the player a tiny bit into a direction. For example, yeah, we can actually make it like, yeah, this, so if he's grabbing the line, he might notice that there is something else, or even we make it a bit more in a slight shape. That's a bit harsh. So also, since it's a bit nicer if they kinda have different angles, since they are standing still. Or do they stand still? Spawn and start, pop and rotate. No, they don't rotate, so yeah, which is fine. I most of the time keep them rotating, actually. I mean, the thing is, rotating weapons are more visible to players instead of placed weapons. In classic maps, yeah, you can place them, but on the other end, that's a KD touch I actually got used to over the time. That's kind of fine by me. That's, I mean, as long as it's proper weapon props, not like some green weird shit that looks like a weapon but it's not a weapon. That's a bit of a shame. Looking at you, Eternal. Such nice weapons, but just having just weird lines is a bit odd. Get your pinky. Okay, even more interesting, since the player definitely gets when he picks up the thingy that the Hell Knights get very aggressive anyways up front. But maybe we get the player so distracted that the pinky has a certain amount of charge time, and that makes it tiny bit more interesting. We now also can use these little alcoves we came up with to eventually place enemies. We even could open them up, we could close them later on. I mean, we easily could hide the fact that there is a certain area in between and make a straight run out of this in the first run, and just align this one. We have now many options to use this room in some interesting ways, just by the way we placed We built our basic walls now. We are very flexible now. The space is enough to spawn demons inside, so they have enough room. Anyways, anything. So or ammunition packs and so on and so on, or just decoration. That's it for nice interesting place. For example, to get some place. I'm just checking the height, but we are on texture height, so we are actually on even on height for every detail. So we could go and say in every middle we place. We not, because we have this little barrier here, but that's fine. It's a workaround. I don't want to do it anyway, but yeah, we have now plenty of space to work with. But it even looks kind of okay leaving it out in the first place. So that's okay. And we have the last spawner. You are a mancubus. It's a big mank. Okay. Oops. Oh, it is actually. So. And the good thing is you made all the thing is already non-solid. That's actually a thing I actually appreciate. To save even more resources, we actually make them also static, and also ensure you tap down on the D-pad so they actually drop to the floor properly. Otherwise, they are kind of floating in mid-air, cause they are very hard to see if they are actually aligned with the floor. If not, but we save what we have, cause we have a resource cost of 10 and 6. I love classic maps so much. I can't tell it enough. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, it is already two major rooms. You're making this with any other stuff, and your cost would rise and rise and rise. I mean, still not too much in a way, but these costs are ridiculous. It's like working with papers and glue. So now we make a save. And double check if I again messed up some small details of this tiny logic than it is. I don't think so, but you never know. You never know. Also, you always want to see how the game flow is working and stuff. So, like enemy placement and stuff is now interesting, and yeah. Going back often is always a good thing to. I mean, we still have not the skybox on top, so we don't look into the sky. Actually, you know what? We make a we want to give this first area the right feel actually. So we actually it's just a block. The arena, the first one, is just the size of the ground volume anyway, so we don't have to align anything in a hard way or manner. So we, oops, yeah, we copy it, not just grab it, of course. And the thing is also, I mean, that's why I changed, for example, some heights. Yeah, we go really to the max, even so we have aligned it properly. Can I? Yes, I can. There's even more space. Great. Oops, that's the one. So, cause there are few borders that are a bit close to the edge. So, I mean, and then make it bright outside. I mean, we can go for the hell. I actually normally that's the weird thing. I always like the cheesy Doom skies. So the thing I actually most of the time go is actually like really the hell skybox. I really like that one. The mountains. I don't like the low resolution on the classic ones, cause they are scaled up the originals aren't that scaled up and don't look that pixely normally, which is really a shame. This is normally such a nice texture, but the way it is scaled up in Snapmap makes it look so bad, in my opinion at least. So, but yeah, this was your original. Yeah, let's go for your original. I mean, like I said, I really want to keep the 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 textures you used in the first place and just upgrade it in a bit, yeah, and polish it out. So yeah, this was the one you used, so we use this one. Since it is a collaboration, it's not only my map. I mean, the layout and the stuff that's going on actually is all part of Ultimate Doomer, which is already quite fun for the short part we have already. So I'm just cleaning the edges. Yeah, I say the same. Yeah, I mean it's just a thing I kind of avoid to use then, cause um, it doesn't get you have such a nice resolution on all the other pixel textures on the normal on the wall textures and stuff, and this is it is a bit of off-putting. So I actually tend to use actually the newer ones, since we have new designed enemies in a way. It fits into the mod feeling you have, since your weapon model is not pixelated too. So yeah, the skybox is the one thing I tend to use in actual modern textures. They fucking hit me all the time. It's my bane of existence. The charge shot on the normal soldiers. I made barric, yeah. Now, since the walls are so thin, yeah, he literally can through. So what I will do in the next step is I will barricade the walls with props, so he is not able to shoot through it anymore, because that's a bit annoying. Because you want to be safe. I mean, the AI is able to look through to navigate better, but I don't want to let the shots go through, and to prevent that we easily can do this with using blocks. So now it's not, it's obvious, but not that obvious that we have a secret, and it's a nice little secret where we actually get this, since we don't have double jump or ledge grab, which is actually a nice thing to do in my opinion. We can get through here, yes we can. Oops, we missed. Navigation is okay so far, I would say. But yeah, the shots are a bit annoying. The imps don't get it done quite well, but okay, yeah. They don't shoot too much through the wall. Oh yeah, it's just one imp left. Maybe that's why. So, I mean, the thing is, we can avoid this if we place a big invisible block around this area so they don't get stuck on it, but on the other end, I don't see a big problem that they get caught in this. This is the only thing you actually can catch the AI in this first arena, which is fine. Yeah, everything looks nice and dandy. Nothing's clipping. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah. We have our dandy red door, which looks a bit odd. This is context subject change maybe. It's a bit wide, but on the other end, it's a bit different. And yeah, and now we have our interior, which immediately, oh, doesn't that look nice? It's the same layout but just polished up now with few details and stuff. We also have our one thing, I mean it's a bit covered by the box, and if you run into and don't look really back, don't see it properly, then we have our rocket launcher and our shield. I mean of course we just got a rocket launcher, we have to change the boxes and the placement of the pinky, so they have to sit somewhere else when they spawn, because that way they actually act a bit unfortunate for them. So we make something nice for this one too. This is now placed around, so, and yeah, the pinky is totally out of sight of the player and actually does its job properly. You are distracted by so much, then gives the pinky enough time to charge on you. Can navigate. This has to be changed a slight bit because, oh no, he comes around around the corner too actually. That's good. I literally thought the Hell Knight would get problems on this one here, but they don't. Then what's always a nice interesting thing is, since the checkpoint is outside, and as you can see, we have everything without the logic in between. But yeah, he's even able to navigate properly due to the soft angles we placed there, and he's totally aware of what he's doing, as good as it can be. Nice. I'm really happy with this result for now, so yeah. And the gray ceiling is fine too. I mean, yeah, it's simple, and I always think in too much. I mean, there's not a need to overuse details and stuff. Sometimes a solid design like this and the nice layout works just fine already. So yeah, and yeah, I mean, like I said, this texture is, for me, it's more a detailed texture, so that's why I wanted to use it in here. We now can mix things up even and change the positioning to get different parts of the texture inside of them. That's what I will do now actually. It's just to mix things a bit more up, to get a bit more diversity, so not every blanket looks like copy and pasted. We can just switch the backs of the walls now the way we want to. That's quite nice. So what we do here is we grab, where are we? Oh, we are on the way wrong side. Oh, yeah, here is my big brick room. So since I actually left enough space in these to be able to just change the wallpaper of it, so we can align it, this one like this, and this one can stay, let's say, and we can go change this one like this. And I'm not sure if I left enough space here. We can even go and say we make just this one in the middle, so we have different variations on the background walls over here, so that one can stay, or we just go back and do it like this. So every of these little side corners gets a tight slight touch of uniqueness to it, and doesn't feel like what we actually did, copying the same wall pattern over and over and over. We're just switching off our little detail we have in between here, and to make this more interesting again, and then go for this one. Check that we at least align properly, so we don't have a loose gap where we can look into the grid room. So now we have this one normal, and let's say we go, actually to be safe of the direction, we go that direction. and this one is again one of the few full blown over there. So that way we use the same texture in multiple ways, and it's a subtle little change, but it would be obvious if you look at it. It's not like it's not a repeating pattern over and over and over and over again. So there's always a slight little difference. It's the small things that make a difference in my opinion. So yeah, that's how I kind of like this one. So this pinky had a very bad time. So what I think is we don't make a pinky. We got the rocket launcher. I mean, we have the one pinky that can rush, but we actually can grab us a mancubus here that eats up a few more shots, and he's slow as fuck anyway. So, and there is the box that protects us from the shots in the first place, but I think he still can manage to annoy us in a way. So we switch this up for this encounter. I mean, we have a rocket launcher, but therefore, I mean, to give the rocket launcher a tad bit more use, I think 1 or 2 packs of rocket ammunition in one of our corners would be nice. I mean, you also get the next gun immediately too, and we also the thing is the pack of rocket launcher ammunition actually indicates for the player to maybe search around a bit, cause that he might have missed one when I provide him with the ammunition. That's always a nice indication. That is universally known as I provide you stuff, so there has to be stuff. I wouldn't provide it if there wasn't anything like this. But we actually place this one here, and let's see how many rockets do you get standard. Let's be gentle for now. I mean, the thing is that the player might blow him up anyways on these close encounters with the rocket launcher and the rushing enemies, so it might be okay. This corner worked a bit glitchy, so we just give it a tiny bit more space, so that way the Hell Knight can get around a bit easier, even so he can already, but it's always a pain in the ass if he gets stuck halfway and then gets kind of a boost on his charge. And you know what, this is actually, we go closer into the corner. I don't see a thing that there should be anything in behind. I mean, we could place a switch. Now we can climb. We can climb, so there is no way to get there. So no climbing, no hiding. Just get another box over there. Yeah, we have the next boxes in here, so that's okay. That was fine. That is just a little. You get in here, grab your ammunition, then you have to get out of there. So there is a bit of a risk of reward. Healing is not much here, but is provided actually in the next section, so I think we are fine with the healing part. So yeah, that looks quite nice. Oh, and I actually know how this one here will be. So we have the gun here. This can't block off. We don't need this wall anymore. We need the next part of this wall. We have the straight angle again. Course we don't have it yet. Yeah, that's a question now. That way I'm actually going for a not super hard angle on both sides. That way we kind of end up in a decent position over there, and the same to have a tiny bit of symmetry in this basically non-symmetrical build. This, yeah, it's just this, but it just looks a bit nice, I'd say. So, and yeah, so here we see how we make our workaround, make it a bit more space, then it's okay. So we know where we want to. We try to stay in the boundary so we don't have to add stuff here, which would be a nasty thing later on to have. And yeah, what I had in mind now on this barriers was actually we give it a bit more substance on one and the other side. I mean, therefore the contrast is actually quite nice and working for our stuff like we want to. Because we want to have this area to be sticking out a bit. I mean, we even could use a box in here. I mean, we have enough room to place a box here, but I don't see the point in here. I mean, these are quite dark actually. Okay, mine are actually normally even darker. That's interesting. Okay, so what I want to do is grabbing my platforms. Yeah. So give me that part. Oh, that's handy actually. Let's delete this one. We actually use this to our advantage. Advantage. But we have to make a slight change in here. Here we have to barricade it actually if we want the demons not to just dive through it, but actually be able to walk through it, which they are. It's like a step for them too, so they will do. It's actually not interfering too hard with the AI pathing, so we easily can do this. So this was not aligned properly, so let's see, and then we grab both of these, and it hasn't to be straight in the middle, but at least from the front it has to have a certain look. So this is on the ground. Double check on these two. They are on the ground. This should have, the walls should have a height of 23, cause 25 is our second step. This one is 11, and so we have enough space on top, so we are definitely in height of as there. What we now do is we lock our blocking boxes, go to our little parts, and I think I get along with it. I think I made the right size choices. Yes, I did. Cause this is 12, so that's why I can actually align it quite closely. And if my size measurement was right, I actually can use this to my advantage too. So what I'm doing now is just align this on that side and this on that side. Since we are on the floor, we are basically fine. And I just changed the upper platform to a size that covers up. Actually don't, I just have to the other one is blocked. But this is not the case, right? know what? This one I might have idea. So that's a bit of experimenting what looks nice and is is an easy workaround for us. So the thing I have in mind now actually is I make this stuff just wider, and so it goes into both our walls. The same with this. We just make a bigger step here. That should be quite nice. This is the direction. Yes, this is the direction I want. That way it is even more easy to handle. So the same is changing this direction. Size, as long as we don't touch it, is just fine. Yes, we are in. Yeah, boy, we are in. So then we have this texture up here. Grab it for that one. So now we lock our blocking boxes again. Now comes the messy part. Oops. Yeah. Okay. I know. That's yeah. So we don't actually. We now have enough space to actually make it properly. So what I'm doing is actually going to my grid, snap to grid, snap to grid, and snap to grid. It's way more than I needed, I think. Yeah, that's enough. Then, oops, copy that, snap to the other grid. Yes, thank you. Ah, it's lying down, so yeah, I forgot about the snap angle. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, stupid me. So that's way too much, but that's not a problem. It's just so we have a basic platform for our ground floor. Take I was too quick. Not a problem. We just grab all of these parts again. Thank you. Do I go to our grid, snap to grid, add this one, grab all, and we are good to go. Of course, this is too okay. No, I don't want to leave the maps. Forget it. I don't want to place this out here and getting rid of the annoying logic that is circling around. We don't need this in our thing. So now go down and grab the crap out of the shit. The shit. Yeah, you know what I mean. So now we double check. Oh, it's even not long enough. Okay. So I do this by hand now. Even so I shouldn't. Because every tiny gap you make here can be detrimental for the functionality of it. Oops. Oops, that was too much deleting. I'm losing focus here. So, but actually, do I have no? I have no freaking room at all. Come on. Yeah, okay. I think that's okay. We can leave it like this, because we don't have too much. Oops, this was too much. Oh, let's actually no. So what we do now is we search from this side. Gap. Yeah, it's slightly off, but it should be okay. We will see. I mean, the demons are not that picky that we are using in this area, so we should actually be fine. I hate you so much, Snapmap. I hate you so much. That's good. So and what we do up here, actually, yeah, okay. Can I get that one, please? Please give me the upper one. Should have made the upper one first. Okay, upper one, yeah, same step. Okay. It's interesting when you normally do stuff automatically and don't think about what you're doing, and then try to explain actually what you're doing is actually quite interesting in some ways. You really see that there is sometimes more thought process that you actually are thinking there would be. So now I have this one. I don't care much about the gaps around, so I mean the major thing is the height difference. I mean we have a straight line of props, so we can easily place them lower, cause the max would be the max height, which would be when we would see it, but now we can immediately place it lower than this, so the upper area is barricaded in a working height without any serious issues. And now the only thing we have to do is we lock our props, go back to our blocking volumes, and just do this, and we should be fine, most likely. Even so, we can now go the tad bit, because we just need to cover it up a slight bit. Okay, we go one wider with this one, the same with this one, and then we have a tiny little gap. And what we're doing now is we just make this a facade and decoration and make it absolutely non-solid at all. The only thing that is blocking or is working as a ground floor now in the end will be the barricade we have underneath it. So of course there is nothing, we don't have to think about ledge grabbing or anything, so that we absolutely, this is just facade. If I would make it otherwise, I would even add a new ledge grab prop, invisible one, onto this, like you normally would do with props. It's the better solution in my opinion, even so it's a workaround, and it might be just a gut feeling of mine, but I really trust on my gut feeling on this one. Normally that's the perfect way to do so. And since I am actually just barricading this, I just remember that I want to barricade the outer box, at least the walls of the outer box, so the freaking soldiers aren't able to. So double checking this, see this one is missing, yeah, chip. So we got this, yes we got this, and we got this, yeah. And now I mean I didn't make these static now, which I could, but yeah, looking on the memory resources, I slightly give a fuck. So what, no, height show blocking boxes lock. It's disgusting. So I hope this works out. Oh damn, I laugh again when, so just give me a grid. Perfect. That's absolutely to our favor here. Then this is most likely. Can I please just get it? Do I have such a, I hate it when I don't see the grid actually. Wait a second. How stupid do they snap the grid actually? So 3 is too much, right? But I tricked around a bit. Just no. Okay, but we cheating, I say, cheating. But so that's enough. It's literally interesting for us that the shots don't fly through, so there's absolutely not really a need for too precise placement. And since the little edges, Doom, I told you I'm building. It's you made a big mistake and asked me for a collaboration, and I got hooked. So as long I got ideas, and I can tell you I have a lot of ideas for this area, and see how it goes. I'm absolutely not in the mood at all to play, and especially not co-op where it's laggy as shit and has the weirdest game flow of everything. It is. I did it twice. I mean, this is double wall too, so basically this should be fine. So, but we will see in the testings how it ends up. Actually, you can go higher. I could barricade the floor for the AI so they wouldn't fall through actually when they get killed, which is a nice addition. Actually, I'm double checking on the size again. I mean, it is quite precisely the area I need that anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. Just going this way. This was easily fitting in. The area they can move is smaller too. Yeah, that's easy to do actually. Come on. While we are here, yeah, give me the crate. Get all with the crate. Yes. So. I mean, it fits in. The small gap outside is, I think, going away anyways. Yes. That way we are fully in the shape. Lower the pitch down, I'd say. So that way the area the AI is sitting on is barricaded too, and but we leave it now since we don't have it fully barricaded, so we leave this one here as it is when I changed it up. So now we lock the props. That's very important, because props always are more dominant than blocking boxes when it comes to grabbing areas most of the time. But that's also a thing why I like my modded props, actual props. When I work around the stuff with blocking volumes, I really want to switch in between the stuff. And Stony made, for example, some props with out of blocking volumes, which are working the same as the other ones, but I'm so used to be able to lock my props when I work with the blocking volumes around my props, and then of course you toggle both of them, and that's irritating in a way, for me at least. I would have to get used to. So now this block blocks the demons, it blocks the player, and this block literally does nothing in the end, because it's an exact copy of that, just lifted up a tiny bit higher, so it's literally just the same block as the other one is. So now that this is double checking the thingy points, because this can have, but they are all exceptionally high enough so that the spawn drop down on the geo and don't get stuck in the geo, which would be quite bad now with the new way. So we have this, we are outside of this. We have our nice little spot here, and what I like to do actually is double check I really wish they would be constructed otherwise, cause the problem is now I lose two different directions, and I don't want to. Do I have another more usable? I mean, I can get that on one. I think, yes I can. So that's quite in the middle. That would be 45 on 45, I think. It would be a compromise. Is this centered at all? More or less. Since the web models always get a bit, so just for the short moment, actually, until it is picked up, we actually, or we could actually work in here with a light source. Yes, here we go. Give it a small glowy touch. Just for the sake of it. So that way it kind of sticks out a tad bit more. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, why not? It's a little detail. Okay. This is unnecessary. So, and we see how we proceed in here later. Once we have double checked on this encounter, props can be shown. Yeah. quick save. Loading. Yeah, okay, I mean they get stuck on the walls they are blocked in, which is a nice idea so they don't walk through all the place. Okay, this guy now gets actually disorientated, which is more odd. Because we block up the parts behind him too, which is a bit unfortunate. I might get rid of the blocking box in the floor, I'm not sure yet. I'd see how he does later on. Yeah, the floor is not quite okay here. They are way too blocked in the boxes. Things I don't really like barricading walls that much. I kill all of them. Oops. That's unfortunate. Oh, this door has a sound effect yet too, actually. What a door. I'm not sure about this texture here, actually, but yeah. I mean, shots through are not a case anymore, but the behavior is a bit odd for now. Boyo has this guy a range. I might make an invisible step here too. That way it's a bit more comfortable to walk into this. Everyone's happy with the stair we made. Looks like everyone is happy with the stair. Even the mancubus can walk through and don't get stuck in the ceiling, which is a plus. But I'm not happy with the box. But at least they don't walk through it, they literally go up the little steps. The mancubus just fits in. That's really nice. I like that. a little step for Mancubus, but oh, the guy walked around. Or did they glitch through the wall? That's the question actually, no, but I don't think so. Have you guys found a weird way to get out of Mount that I'm not aware of? Let's double check that one actually again. See what they're doing. I mean, this wall is literally really thin. I mean, they are not supposed to be behind there. Yeah, that's why I say 2 wins thin walls are not the best thing to do sometimes. But I mean, they won't go there normally, so they are actually normally they would be blocked. I'm pretty sure they walked around while we despawned. The same this guy did. Yeah, okay. I might provide an invisible stair around these, so we actually just you can walk into them and not get stuck. To keep the game flow, and cause it's always a bit annoying when you get stuck on a little. But I'm not happy with the box anyway. So what I'll do, I give him a bit more of a chance to get their shit together and leave out the floor. The floor is not necessary. It might help a bit because all the walls are already freaking the shit out of these guys. It might be actually the walls, but I really want to keep the walls. I don't mind too much, but let's see. I'll just one lock. I'm gonna get rid of this. The one block is still active, the other one is inactive, so that should be a tiny bit better. Just in case something fishy wants to happen. Where's our long? This one. So we don't get distracted. Not texture, actually, maybe this one. Okay, that's true. The rest is uninteresting. Yeah. Shots fails. Sean start fails. The rest is set. Now give me workable size. And I think I think that's not working at all. I think it has to be 24, which is actually even better when I look at the wall texture of the thingy. Okay, okay, that's actually a good change. We are still in the good. thought I would mess up the whole textures of the walls, but it doesn't. It's literally just lowering this one by 1, lowering this one by 1, and we are still alright. At least it's just a small step we have to adjust here, so it could be way worse. Or not, depending. Oops. Stay part 1. Did I crack this one? Okay. Didn't feel like I cracked that one this time. So